Hey, good morning everyone. It is part 2 of the guitar building, a Klesh guitar. So over here, as you saw in the first video, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out and I'll link it over there. This is the body that's glued together. It's dry, it's ready to come out of clamps. And then this is, it's basically the same process. It's the neck, the peg head veneer. It's glued on the same way. It's got the same, we decided on black, green, black veneers. So it's the same. And then of course the peg head veneer on top of that. We'll unclamp this as well. I didn't think it was necessary to film this because it's the same thing. All right, let's unclamp it and take a look and see what kind of damage we did. All right, that's good. It didn't glue itself together. The wax paper did its job. Okay, here it is. Now we have all this flappy stuff hanging off the edges. We're gonna trim this up. We're gonna join both sides together so that they fit together perfectly. And then we're gonna clamp them this way, glue them together. This here, we can trim the top off and clean it up a little bit. We can start drilling our holes. Oh yeah, that black, green, black veneer is really gonna be cool, especially when I bevel the edges. That's gonna be so cool. All right, the next step is we need to join these two together. So as you can see, there's a big ugly gap there because we have veneers and stuff, glue and stuff in the middle there. So we're gonna take it over to the joiner. We're gonna join those edges, get them together, and then we're gonna clamp that. Both halves, we're gonna clamp them together. All right, so here is our peg head, veneer glued on. And as you can see, so we're gonna clean that up here on the edge sander. We'll clean up the sides as well, any glue on the back, and just kind of clean it up a little bit. So let's do that. All right, it's been a while and I shouldn't be making instructional videos because I messed up. It's nothing I can't fix, but I forgot to thin down the peg head veneer to 1/8 of an inch because now it's, you know, 1/4 inch thick, and when I sanded this part flat, there's not enough room here for the peg head. So what I have to do is bring this down to 1/8 inch. That'll bring this gap halfway up, which will give me space for the peg head veneer. So the main thing I have to do right now, I need to get this thing square. So make sure I get a nice square edge on the joiner here. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't name this video how to build a guitar. It's just building a guitar or something like that, because I messed up. I totally forgot that when I have to put the peg head veneer on this part, I can't just measure it from the center line or the line across. I have to go all the way to the edge, because after I level this off, everything shifts this way. And so as you can see, there's no more peg head veneer on here. I had to sand and plane everything off. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna put a bigger piece that comes pretty much to the end just to make sure. And then that way we won't have that same problem. I'm not gonna have the same awesome piece. Let's see what I have here. That's actually not terrible. All right, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and glue my body halves together. So I already have lines drawn across to line up, just like little hash marks. So in the future, I would know how to line these up to keep them perfectly book matched. These are really easy to glue together. Just add glue, spread it out, and then of course, put one of my hairs in there. Ow. I always put my hair inside some of these glue joints, especially between the body. That way in the future, if an alien ever finds this guitar and needs repairs done, well then he can just clone me, right? We want to see a lot of squeeze out when we clamp this. Okay, that's where the glue goes, under the table. This gets lined up. We also need clamps to keep them lined up. Put a clamp here on the edges on both sides just to keep things perfect. Things are going to move around a little bit. I just have to be careful. There we go. Not clamping anything down really tightly. Not yet. These clamps just help keep everything aligned when I start applying serious clamping pressure to this. Okay. All right. So we're going to put 4 clamps on this. We're going to start with 2 on the bottom. And then we're going to do 2 on top. You can see the squeeze out starting to happen. And I'm just using my hands right now. We're not even started. Now I'm going to get the other 2 clamps on here, the other 2 bar clamps. This just gives it even clamping pressure across the entire thing. You can actually get away with just using 2 of these clamps. I just prefer to use 4 since I have them. All right, now we're going to evenly tighten everything and then just crank them down with that wrench. All right, we've got this thing seriously clamped up. We've got squeeze out all the way around. All right, so while this thing is drying, I might as well go ahead and fill these cracks and little voids and stuff. This is just walnut dust, and I'm gonna mix some epoxy in with it, some 2-part epoxy, and we'll just set it in there, and then it'll be dry tomorrow. So then we can, once we sand the top flat, we only have to do it once. We don't have to sand it and then fill it. Might as well fill it now. So I'm just gonna do that. All right, so this peg head veneer, I went ahead and sanded that other one off. It didn't look right. You could see the laminate, so I took it back to this. And there's actually some figure in this anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I just wanted it to be even better. But it kind of makes sense because the back end of the body is really figured, and then as it gets closer to the top, it becomes less figured. And then as you get to the headstock, which is as far to the left as you can get, it's, you know, barely figured. So it all works out. I went ahead and it's been a while since I filmed, so I've got this thing clamped up. I got all of the epoxy and all the cracks and voids and stuff and knots. So I also went ahead and built a black Limba guitar. That is going to be a 6-string asp. It's going to have a black Limba body, maple top, and then a green and black laminate. So that's gluing up. The neck is going to be maple with a matching curly maple peg head veneer, black and green veneer as well. And I just wanted to keep you updated. It was mostly gluing today and, you know, just fixing this issue and everything like that. So that's pretty much all I got for today. Tomorrow we'll unclamp this, we'll run it through the sander, we can cut it out, we can route some pockets, we can route the truss rod, we can cut that out, drill some holes, you know, maybe even route some control cavities and stuff, pickups, neck pocket, all that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, let me know. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.